Hi, good evening. Welcome to the series show. Donald Trump claims that he could end the Russia Ukraine war in hours if he wins the presidential elections of 2024.
I will end that war in one day. It'll take 24 hours.
I think he would offer President Putin something he won't refuse. So, tonight, we will hear from our former Russian spy on whether Trump can truly end this war and whether President Putin can trust him. Please proceed. See, historically, President Putin has lost trust with USA since decades. After the fall of Berlin Wall in the early 1990s, US Secretary of State James Baker indicated that NATO will not expand 1 inch eastward beyond Germany. But there was no formal written agreement of NATO east expansion. No, and not surprisingly, NATO did expand in the early 1990s and the 2000s, incorporating the Soviet bloc countries and the Soviet republics, which had been a source of tension between NATO and Russia. Right. Also, President Putin lost trust in Bush when US withdrew from the ABM treaty, anti-ballistic missiles treaty. Yes, because when US withdrew from the treaty in 2002, there were concerns in Russia that the US missile defense system were deployed in Eastern Europe, particularly in Poland or Romania. Russia perceived this system as a threat because it could intercept the Russian missiles. So you are saying that President Putin doesn't trust US presidents, especially on NATO's European expansion. Yes, but Trump is different. I don't believe so. Because if you see US presidents granting NATO membership during their terms, Trump is among those presidents, along with Joe Biden and Obama, who were interested in the NATO's eastward expansion into Europe. I still think that Trump has a pro Russian attitude because if you see some body language insights, it is clear that when Trump meets President Putin, you can see the admiration in his eyes as like a kid meeting a superhero. As for President Putin, he looks like he just found the last piece of chocolate. Right, right. And the way Trump leans in, like he's about to share a secret, he must have said this to President Putin, like, "So, hey, Vlad, have you thought of taking up golf? Great for stress relief, way better than invading countries." Yes, the bromance of the century. Because who needs diplomacy when you have a golf buddy? Yeah, also in line with this, I remember the Helsinki summit, where Trump said that he trusts Putin more than his own intelligence agencies. What a compliment! I think they were both planning a wedding rather than international relations. But in all seriousness, if the Trump has been the president instead of Joe Biden, the narrative could have been shifted. Maybe he could able to convince President Putin to take a vacation instead of making headlines. A vacation? You mean like, hey lad, why not invade Bahamas instead? Way more relaxing than Ukraine war. Exactly, but he didn't win the second term. I hope President Donald Trump will win the 2024 elections. But recently, President Putin has said that he prefers Joe Biden over Trump as the president because Joe Biden is predictable. See, I think it is the compliment to Trump because President Putin hates unpredictability ever since President Trump has promised him a surprise birthday party. But speaking of the November 2024 elections, Trump has been promising to end the war if elected. It's quite a bold statement. Yes, I hope his charm will work on President Putin. But do you really think that he believes he can end the war by the wave of his hand? Don't underestimate the power of charisma, my friend. Because if you are as charming as Trump, you can convince anyone except Congress. But let's face it, if Trump's plan to end the war relies on charm alone, he might need to rethink his strategy. The only thing President Putin seems to respond is strength, not sweet talks. I am betting on his charisma. Okay, very well. If you are watching this from a country that is in NATO or aspiring to join NATO, subscribe to this channel. I'll promise we will supply you the content that make you feel more privileged than having a lifetime supply of the peacekeeping troops.